Hello again, welcome back to All Crone Up. It's Frances, I told you about my exciting news about my book. So here's my book for those of you who maybe missed that video. It's called Skeet and the Sparkly Trail, and in that video I was saying, oh little Robin, I was saying how I was going to let you do a video on the process of how to get to the stage of having an actual physical book. Okay, so how do I even start? So it started off, I went for a walk in the woods. So much starts walking in the woods. And I just suddenly got this, it was very relaxed, and I suddenly got this inspiration to paint about a snail. And I kind of got the story, not complete, but it was a snail with a rainbow shell who didn't really feel like he belonged. Now, I didn't have a rainbow shell, but I definitely didn't feel like I belonged in my family. I didn't feel like I belonged in my community when I was small. So this is definitely, kind of coming from me. So the rainbow-shelled snail Skeet goes off on a journey, leaves his family, goes off on a journey to find himself, to find something for himself, his tribe maybe, or anyway, he comes across a sparkly trail, and then he meets other creatures who are sitting on the trail, and then he finally meets his person, who is another snail called Sparkle. I'm not going to tell you the rest because otherwise you're not going to want to buy the book. So please buy the book. It's at the moment, it's still on pre-order, but it's going to be available at the end of October 25 on Amazon and Waterstones in Thingy and what's it, Barnes and Noble, I think it's in the American one. Anyway, exciting. So anyway, so I was in the woods, I was having a walk, and I had this, and so I just went home, and not that long after that I started just painting. I did the first page, which is this one. I just painted a snail. In fact, no, initially I just painted some different snails. I didn't quite know if it was going to be a full rainbow or if it was going to be just a brightly colored shell, or how the trail would be. His trail, I don't know if you can see on this one, is kind of like a rainbow. It's like a rainbow trail. So, and then all of his family, I'll show you that page, all of his family are normal snails. And so I just started painting, and once I kind of worked out the way to do the background, and then I do so I started doing the painting part. And as I started painting, a friend of mine, my best friend in fact, Sarah, is absolutely brilliant with words. She's written a book, and she's so good at words. And so I went through it with her, and she really helped me get it to sound really, really good, and the words to flow. So thank you to Sarah, honestly, brilliant, helpful, awesome friend. And so we went through that, and this is not like all in 1 week. This was over a long time really, and there were 28 pages, 27, so 25 pages of artwork. So I had to do each one of these pages is like an A4 page. But beforehand, I've got this because I've already got my second and third books in my mind, and so this is what I did. This is what I did as I think very early on I did like a board with all of the different. This is how it's going to look, kind of. So this is, I don't know if you can see that. That's the kind of idea. This is actually for my second book. This is the idea for the second one. Exciting. Next time you see this will be maybe it's going to be a while, but that's the kind of thing. So once we got the words, and once I'd done all of those things, Isaiah helped me to put it all onto the computer and do the words and put the words on top of the pictures that I'd taken with the phone. So I mean, it's all, and we had to think of the font, and then you had to think of where to position the words, and I mean, there's things that I would never have thought of that you'd have to do. So once we'd got it all in, I actually sent some of the pictures and the basic idea of the storyline to a few publishers, and this must have been 4 years ago, I think, maybe 5, I don't even know. Let's say 4. So 4 years ago I sent it to publishers, and actually they were very kind, and they said, oh, that looks lovely, but no thank you, it's not what we're looking for at the moment. So I thought, oh well, fair enough then, I've written a book, it doesn't have to go anywhere else, so I kind of put it away. And then at the beginning of this year I suddenly thought, there's magic in that book, and really it needs to be out. I'm not doing this because I want to be the next J.K. Rowling. Somebody said that the other day to me and said, oh, you know, we're going to have to watch you. I said, no, this isn't the purpose. It's just to get it out there, because I don't think that there is a book like this really around, and there's definitely not very much with the LGBTQIA plus type theme running through it, because obviously, well, I don't want to give the game away, but Skeet does find his lovely person who happens to also be a boy. My brother said, well, that's not correct, Francis, because snails don't have gender. Oh well, they do in my book. So anyway, so there we go. So I decided at the beginning of the year to self-publish. So I looked into some different publishers, and because there's a sparkly trail, this was the issue. The sparkly trail part, I wanted it to be done in glitter. That would be, you know, that would have been brilliant. You know, like there's a book called The Rainbow Fish, if you know that one, and there's like that glittery part in it with the scales on the fish, and I loved that as an idea for the trail, but nobody could do it. So I kind of thought, oh, okay. So I had to reorganize my mind with it and think, if I make it look sparkly, and if you look at the word sparkly here, does that look slightly sparkly? That was the aim, was it, for it to make it look, because I'd done it with glitter, I've done it with glitter paint, so I made it as sparkly as I could get it. And then I sent it. So anyway, I picked a publisher who I really, you know, we got on. We had a call on the phone, and I got on really well with the chap, and he said, you know, we can make this happen, Francis. And I was like, oh, okay, let's just do it. So I said yes. They had a special deal on. It wasn't stupidly expensive. It wasn't, you know, that cheap either, but I really had this need to get this book out. So I said, okay, let's go for it. And it started, I think in March or April, we started the whole process properly. And I sent him what I thought was the completed book. And then they kind of took it apart. And then they redid, they wanted new font, they wanted to have, and then I had to work out where the capital letters were. Because, you know, in like Winnie the Pooh and things like that, you've got certain capital letters on, you know, certain areas that wouldn't normally have capital letters. And I put that in the book. And some of the words have, let's find, for example, some of the words are very bright with lots of colours. So like this one, the celebration is written in multicolour. And all of these types of, every single aspect of the book had to be thought through, and emails toing and froing and toing and froing. And it took ages to get the whole thing. And then they kept sending me, okay, how does this look? Okay, that looks good. And how do we doing the cover? And then the first page that you open, which is this one, didn't have a snail, so I had to paint another snail. And, you know, it's just one thing after the other. And I thought I'd send it, and then they'd get it to the printers and publish it. You know, no. It was hugely long process, but really, really intricate and ever so interesting to see the way they work. And they pull apart a book, and then they can put it back together. So I'm really thrilled with the result. I love it so much. I'm very, very happy. I hope it does really well. A lot of my friends have already pre-ordered. So yeah, I'll put my publisher also made a mini trailer, and so I'll put that at the end of this if you haven't seen it already. This is quite a long video. It's longer than my normal videos, but I thought it was an interesting one for people who are interested in creating a book and making something and creating something this special, you know. So here it is. I think I'll leave it there because I've gone quite long. So any other questions, please put down in the comments below, and yeah, go and create something, go and make something, and make your dream happen and become a reality, because once it is real and once it's there, it's just the most exciting thing. So take care, lots and lots of love, and I shall see you very soon. Mwah. Bye.
Skeet is a very special snail who has a rainbow shell. He feels very lonely and different from his family, so he decides to go on a quest to find where he belongs. He comes across a sparkly trail and decides to follow it. On his journey, he encounters many new friends. Then he meets the maker of the sparkly trail. Skeet and the Sparkly Trail by Frances Brown is a story of courage, friendship and hope that embraces an LGBTQIA+ perspective and celebrates the importance of love and acceptance in the world. The book is available on Amazon and at other bookstores.